Today, we'll be walking through some interview basics. We'll learn how to prepare for an interview, understand the most common questions asked, be prepared to ask questions of employers, and learn the follow-up procedure for after an interview. Ensure that you're prepared. This is the best way to combat anxiety. Learn about the employer, research their mission, history, and their growth, and understand why you're interested in joining that company specifically. Next, you'll want to know more about the position itself. What will you even be doing all day? Learn about the job expectations and the typical starting salary. Some tools you can use are LinkedIn and the employer website. Ensure that you've self-reflected and that you're able to speak in detail about your past experiences. Think about your skills, your abilities, and any accomplishments you may have. How do your past experiences help set you up for success in this next role? Think through whether or not your interests match the position and whether or not your values match the employer's values. This is the time for you to communicate your worth. For the interview, understand what skills are needed to perform the job and what they're looking for. And then practice. You don't have to wait until you've applied to a job to practice an interview. You can always schedule mock interviews with your career counselor or practice on your own answering questions with examples and stories that highlight your experiences. In terms of what to wear and bring to an interview, ensure that you're dressed in business professional attire. If you don't feel like you have attire for an interview, you can always come to the Career Development Center and go through our professional clothing closet. The items are completely free and you can get to keep them. You can also look online for posts or videos of professional attire. In terms of what to bring, ensure that you have a copy of your resume and pen and paper for note-taking. Try not to take notes on your phone. This can cause a major distraction for you and the interviewer. So leave the phone in a pocket or bag and make sure it's silenced. You can also always bring water. Water is a great way to take a moment and think about what you're going to say before you say it. And it's a great way to soothe yourself in your voice while you're having a long discussion. There are 3 different types of interview questions: general, behavioral, and technical. General questions will ask about yourself and your different resume experiences. These can be pretty broad, but you should practice on how you answer them. So examples of this could be: tell me about yourself, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and what is your proudest accomplishment? And then more specifically, what interests you about their company or their position. Behavioral questions will get you to use concrete examples of past experiences to display your skills and strengths. An example of this could be: describe a time where you motivated others in a challenging situation. These are questions that I would look back at my resume and try to find specific examples in different jobs that I've experienced. Technical questions are specific to the skills noted on your resume and or indicated on the job description. So if you've written in your resume that you understand Java, ensure that you can answer a question like, what is the difference between Java and C++? At the end, you'll almost always have time to ask the employer questions. So this is your time to interview them and get to know them. Some thoughtful questions that you can ask are: what is the communication and leader style of the managers? Or why did you choose this company or employer? People love to talk about themselves, so this is a good way to answer the question, but you want to ensure that your questions are thoughtful and not things that you could easily look up online. After the interview, send a thank you letter to the employer or interviewer within 24 hours. This illustrates professionalism, and the employer takes note of who does this and who doesn't. And honestly, it helps you stand out. The content that you should include is a thank you for the time, communicate what impressed you about the employer and the position, highlight an experience or skill that impressed the employer during the interview, and be intentional and specific. The interview is an opportunity for you to get to know the employer and show your skills. Prepare your questions, research, and experience to show employers you are a serious and qualified candidate. Good luck!